Capricorns, Capricorns, welcome to Kiki's Doorway. Let's see what your soulmate wants to understand for November 5th to November 7th. God, Gaia, God, Goddess, Mother, Father. What does Mr. and Miss Capricorn soulmate want to understand for November 5th to November 7th, 2018? What actions will What actions will Mr. and Miss Capricorn soulmate will be taking November 5th? All right. Capricorns. Masculine Capricorns, your soulmate, including you, are looking at what has corrupt or felt like a chain reaction when it comes to unrequited love or unrequited love. Unrequited. Like, it's like, undo this. Unbreak my heart. Say you love me again. Undo this hurt you caused when you walk out the door and walk out of my life. Undry these tears. I cry so many nights. Unbreak my heart, my heart. Ooh. This is what masculine and feminine soulmate is thinking about right now. Masculine Capricorns, whatever is unrequited, what is requited? What is requited about love? How has the history of love felt like a curse? Now is the time to look at those things that you might see as love being a curse. That is where the unrequited love has came from and has come from. You and your soulmate, masculine Capricorns, have met in past lives as unrequited love. Whether that means your soulmate had more finance and you didn't, well, that means you had a higher status in the world and they didn't. Whether it means that when y'all both had the status, y'all both didn't want to give each other the time. So now in this life, you're now asking these questions. All right, what would I think would make an unrequited love or unrequited love, something that you just want to quit? What do those things look like, feel like, even sound like to you? When you start to look at that, that's when you will understand, oh, okay. So, for example, say for instance, you, masculine Capricorn, are financially stable and your soulmate isn't. Will you treat your soulmate in this life as an unrequited love again? Will you look at just their finances and say, oh, they don't have their finances, so I shouldn't even respect them or love them? How can you say that? Did you always have your finances in order? And if so, did you ever have a situation where you felt off financially or people had to help you? This is a reminder to let you know your soulmate doesn't want to be lower than you, above you, or aside from you, behind, walking while you in front of them walking. They want equality. Capricorns, masculine Capricorns, if you want to put a cap on something, put a cap on misconceived notions of when someone doesn't have, you should treat them like that. If that's the case, it's something that you might not have that they still will love you on. This is how we can stop the unrequited love and bring back what is required to love each other. What is required to love you, Capricorn? What is required to get your captivation? And if, say for instance, somebody didn't have that yet, are you going to dismiss them? Or are you going to see what else do they have that I can work with while figuring out how to make that part that I feel is in balance a balance? Female Capricorns, your soulmate, including you, are thinking about how leaving or traveling can be. Yes, when we leave and travel, we always like to leave for good reasons, right? Whether it be a vacation, whether it be for graduation and you're going to a new school, whether it be in a new town that you're moving in. You had a hometown, now you're going to a new town to make that now your new hometown. We always carry memories with us in our suitcases, whether it be we still have our clothes. We haven't changed our clothes yet until we get to that new destination. We haven't changed our hairstyle and our views because we're still of that world until we move to the new world. However, Miss Capricorns, your soulmate and you have met through traveling and leaving. You have met when we travel is when we love things, or when we're trying to be productive and doing things that we enjoy, or maybe not enjoy, but we know we have to do it. This is how you have met your partner, either through the train, the bus, the beginning buses that used to, or a chariot. You have met when traveling was a necessity, when it was the way of life. If you didn't travel, you felt like you wasn't living. Now that we have this as a natural option, it can be seen now as, are you leaving when things get rough? Is your soulmate leaving when things get rough? Do y'all stay when things are difficult? This is what your soulmate might be thinking of. How do you want to set roots in where you live? Do you always want to keep traveling? Or do you want to cultivate in where you're captivated by? This is what you and your soulmate is thinking about. Masculine Capricorns, your soulmate is becoming that anchor in their financial lives. They're becoming that anchor when it comes to their stability and how they want to live, both physically and their health. They're becoming, even you, masculine Capricorns, are becoming more anchored when it comes to the things that you truly value in love. Not the things that you can't stand. You know how they say, make a list of the things you don't like about love, or make a list of the things that you don't want to have in a loving relationship. Why don't you make a list of things that will make you captivated to be in a relationship, will make you feel centered in a relationship? Write those things down, jot them down, draw them down, sing them out, record them. Anything that will, when you go back to it, where you can physically say, oh, I remember writing this. I remember when I had this wand or this pen in my hand, or this pencil in my hand, or this marker in my hand, or this paintbrush in my hand, or this tool in my hand. I had attention in mind. I was either going to build something I love. I'm either going to write down the things that I truly value in love. I'm either going to play out the things that truly cause me great joy in any relationship. Because unrequited love could be unrequited in a friendship, in a job, even in yourself. Like, if we had the unrequited love, and I experienced this many times, I had to understand that the men and the women in my life that I have loved romantically was not on, they could have been unrequited or unrequited love, yes, yet I had to exude energy from that. I had to have something in me that made me feel like I lacked giving real love to someone, or I lacked giving real commitment to someone, or I felt I didn't have all the right goods that a woman should have to have a marriage or a solid friendship, careership. And now I'm seeing that is what caused me to have the unrequited love. That's what caused me to have the unrequited relationships in every area of my life. So now, when I get up in the morning, I say, no, this is what I want in a relationship. This is what I am captivated. One thing I'm captivated on is touch. Like, I had to have relationships where I could touch the person or caress them or massage them and look into, or if I don't even physically touch them, touching them with my eyes, touching them with how, wondering what I'm thinking about when I'm looking at them. This is what I want in the new relationships that I'm going to have in my life. And I will be having them in my life in that way. This is what you and your soulmate are starting to understand and start to talk about. So, in the inflow of abundance will be coming to you and your soulmate, masculine Capricorns, a promising business venture. If that means going after the things you love, don't think about the unrequited. Don't like, oh, I love to communicate with women and men, but I'm afraid to. Well, how do you think you got the sign Capricorn? You had to captivate, yes. But some like maybe think of capitation, like cut down, break down to smaller pieces. Like, you could break a person down to smaller pieces. You can mend their hearts back. That's how deep it is. So use this opportunity. Because female Capricorns, your soulmate is becoming a Capricorn, but Capricorn in how they're going to communicate. So they're going to be that boss, and you know what it means to be a boss. You know what it means to be the father figures in people's lives. So your soulmate is becoming the Capricorn or the mother, father in their lives right now. Female Capricorns, your soulmate is becoming that boss in how they communicate, how they're going to use their intuition. Why? Because you and your soulmate see that the end of a difficult situation is over. Because now y'all know how to communicate. Now you know that you're about the boss in you and outside of you. And you have everything around you to fund that or make it to fruition for you. So embrace the change and expect things to get better now. Recovering from an addiction. Whether that addiction means negative self-talk, whether that addiction means physically walking away from things that made you feel like, why do I always gotta leave? Why do I feel like I'm not wanted here? So I gotta find a place where I feel like home. Yeah, if you gotta walk towards a place that feels like home, do that. Because when you actually make that decision, say, I'm tired of feeling like I gotta prove myself. I'm tired of feeling like I got to always be on the go to get what I deserve. Why can't I have it come to me? Why can't I have it in my life the way I feel it? Well, it's because how you feel it determines how you're going to be moving out of that addiction. And you're you're making those steps to get out of that. And understand that each step is important. And how you make those steps is important. Even the way you name the steps is important. I like smoking cigarettes. I like smoke. Now, I could be smoking right now when I do a reading, but I don't like to do that. I like to wait until I finish doing the reading because I like to calm my energy because I'm really energetic. I have real high emotions. And when I read, I tap into everyone's emotions at the moment. So it's just like a battery. You don't want to overburn it. So that's my way of cooling myself down by smoking a cigarette. Now I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to kind of be the star in the sun right now. But I want to see how far it will take me. So I don't smoke a cigarette right now. I guess I know I'm going to be energetic like I just had coffee or sugar like a young person, However, I'm going to rock with that and see where it takes me. At least for the day, and see where the next day will take me from. That's how you're using your will. This is how you're going to be understanding. Well, that's one way of example. That's one way. We have so many ways to get over addiction and to make those steps that is no wrong or right way. It is only wrong and right if you don't feel like the steps that you're making works for you. And it goes back into the earliest cards of the reading. What works based on how you feel about it, masculine and feminine. Masculine Capricorns, your soulmate is becoming that collaborator. They're becoming the Trinity of their lives. They're using the Trinity, that masculine drive that gets them to do what they love, that feminine strategist that understands that it takes nurturing to also get the job done, and the spirit, because without our spirit, then we wouldn't be in our body. So they're understanding, including you masculine Capricorns, that we are abundant naturally. How we want to make that abundance determines the way we want to show our passion. You're in the house of Gemini, which is all about communication. So how do you want to communicate your passion, masculine Capricorns? How do you want to communicate your drive in regards to being your anchor in your life, being that person that is the spokesperson of how to stop unrequited love? How you want to show yourself love before you get that love, that real love? And if that means making a list, like for the long term, or making a list that you can see and go back to as a checkpoint, now's the time. What does it look like to have requited love, required love? How does it feel to have a righteous love? How does it feel to have a relic love? How does it feel to have a captivating love? How does it feel to have a cultivating love? How does it feel to have a connected love? How does it feel to have a centered love? This is what you and your soulmate is going to be doing, and going to be physically demonstrating, because this is fire and 3. And 3 is all about communication. You use your mouth, your tongue, and your body to communicate. So you and your soulmate are going to be communicating in different dimensions or different ways to express your principles on that topic. Female Capricorns, your soulmate is becoming, and you are becoming, the messenger of your emotions. You're becoming the apprentice of your intuition. You are becoming that student of how you're going to sail in your emotions and having that be your guide. So yes, you're very intuitive and you're using your intuition right now. And yes, you're sensitive. You're sensitive to the steps into the sail, but know that you are very artistic. You captivate. How do you captivate? You have to be artistic. How do you coordinate your outfits? What kind of perfume and colognes do you wear? What kind of color of fabric do you have on? How your voice sound can be like silk, can be like satin. This is what people are feeling from you, and they feel you as very friendly. So a new person will enter your life, or if this is you, female Capricorns, you are becoming your new person in your life. And you are understanding a relationship begins all in a new phase. How do you want to heighten your psychic ability in this process? Until we meet again, Mr. and Ms. Capricorns, you and your soulmate are using your passions of how you view love, how you view yourself, how you want to stand fast in your beliefs and not run away. Like, you're getting tired of people running away. You're getting tired of doing the running. So now it's like, nah, I want to stand here. I want to stand fast. I want to stand in my truth. I'm going to be that faith of a mustard seed and see where it takes me. Mr. and Ms. Capricorns, I always leave a paragraph in the description box as a compass, a tool, or something to really simmer our minds on. Whenever you get a chance, look in the description box below for that hidden message. I love you, Miss Capricorns. We will see you on the other side.